It's a fundamental principle of disaster management that all disasters are local, and so your information should also come at a local level.
You know, we have this saying, one man's hazard is another man's disaster. So it could be a really big storm, but if it's in a part of the world that doesn't impact you, it may not be that big of a deal.
DisasterAWARE is manifestation of really that mission to bring the best science, technology, and information and make it available when it's needed by the humanitarian and the disaster management communities.
In this marketplace, it's important, hey, you need to protect your people. You don't want to lose employees, obviously, but it's also an opportunity to say, hey, we're rock solid. No matter what goes on, you can rely on us to be available for you, our customer.
If we look at DisasterAWARE, right, it provides us with information on what happened, where did it happen, how bad is it, and what do I need to do. I see DisasterAWARE and what we do at PDC as a tool in a toolbox. And I know if I was running a company or I was, mayor or governor, it would absolutely have to be a tool that's in my toolbox. I mean, it's something I give my mom and dad who live in Georgia and get tornadoes. I'm going to make sure they have it. I certainly want to make sure that leadership has it.
There's two aspects to this, right? One is that we summarize the information for you so you can provide it to that decision maker and they can make the call. But then if you need to go deeper and really get down into the, hey, what's going on at the street level, we also provide that information. This is the moment of truth, right? Things are either going to go sideways or you're going to get through it. And you need to be able to get to that concise summary.
Generation of executives, as they understand the information at their disposal and what can be done to really reduce those disaster risks, whether it's for employee safety or business continuity, that the nature of risk management in corporation will change, and those changes are for the better to make the corporation essentially more resilient. For larger corporations, it's really not a matter of if something happens, but when something happens.
The second aspect that makes DisasterAWARE really accessible and different from the competition is all the data that we provide. And we provide data that helps you contextualize each type of hazard. So where are the wildfire perimeters? Where is the wind exposure going to be the greatest? Where is that tornado headed?
PDC really is the only agency that covers all hazards in a global perspective. And that information can be consistently provided whether you're working in Africa or in Europe, South America, Asia. And that's going to be important for continuity and consistency.
So when you're trying to understand how does it relate to you, relying on the media isn't going to be a great source for you because they're really saying, hey, this is what's affecting the general population, not so much how does it impact my business or your suppliers or vendors or whatnot.
So you mean you can stop the flood? And my response was, no, sir, but if we can tell you where it floods all the time, you can avoid building. And really, disasters are a combination of the built environment interaction with nature. So as we identify those opportunities, we can actually help to reduce disaster risk.
Now you're in the response phase and you're trying to do the cleanup. You have more time, but you also need to do a deeper assessment, and we can support you in that regard as well.
Start small, but once you see the return on investment, then you are likely to increase actually investment in that area because the return is almost immediate.
So we should be thinking of these businesses and industries not only as recipients of information to protect their business, but of a critical component to the larger community. And they're important for the preparedness, the response, and the recovery phase.